recording. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Rose Milburn. I'm the Communications Manager for Cansurviving. This is a short video which we hope will be the first of many on what's new and what we're planning for the future. This is being shot on an iPhone. The Ideas man is next door, and our publicity manager Lorraine is currently at a Blur concert, so I hope you're having a great time. So if you've come to this site, you're looking for solutions, how to manage after the trauma of cancer diagnosis, and here is a site that could be the place for you, as one recent member said. So over to you, Jude, who founded the site, to tell us a little bit about the structure and what's new.
Okay, hi to everyone, and just a brief bit about me. I had a cancer diagnosis in February 2012, in this case breast cancer, and I had a mastectomy, but then I chose not to take up the offer of chemo and radiotherapy, and I decided to collect my researches into what are still called alternatives, but might also be called traditional healing methods, for other people to tap into. Now, some books do this, but they tend to reflect one author's point of view. This site is broad spectrum, built by those using it, and we're a community. Cansurviving says it all. That title comes from an active verb, which means you're not lying back and saying, heal me. You're actually actively empowering yourself through your own efforts and the efforts of others to go forward in a happier and more serene state of mind. There aren't, of course, any guarantees, and of course a lot of these things tend not to be researched because, guess what, you can't patent vegetables or states of mind. But anyway, the more we research, the more the groundswell grows. Sorry. Numbers aren't stories, statistics aren't people, but together we can raise awareness. But there's more than one way of healing yourself than what you're told by the average medical specialist. This is where the site comes in. There's loads of information under different forum headings, and they've grown as we've grown. There's nothing quite like this, as I say, elsewhere on the site, and all I can say is we're not trying to offer you a one-size-fits-all way to go. You can walk down your own path, but we do know that this stuff works. My own role model was told 5 years ago by his medical practitioner to go home, make his will and prepare to die, maximum 6 months. Okay, 5 years on, he's healthy and happy, no sign of any tumours. That speaks volumes.
Amazing. So tell us about the forums on the site.
Well, they cover important areas of body, mind and spirit, because all of those are involved in true healing. There are loads of ideas for recipes and food combinations, and once you've decided to get started on this thing which is called changing, which is hard to do, but it's what we all need to do, you can find loads about naturopathy, homeopathy, acupuncture. There's a whole forum for personal stories, which is growing, and then there's a library of books with reviews. Everything from Mum Said No to Chemo and Living Proof, which was written by a guy who survived 20 years after a terminal diagnosis and died of something quite unrelated. And there's also one of my favourites, which is called Cancer is Not a Disease, It's a Survival Mechanism. So do go and look at that.
And anyone can add to the site with their favourite books or videos or recommendations for vegan restaurants. My aunt in Australia has added a vegan restaurant near her, my brother in Norway, so it's a kind of great place to find recommendations.
Yeah, we've got restaurants in Paris, New York, Rome, Beijing, so just go and look wherever you're going.
So there's also a new forum, a depression forum. Can you tell us a bit about that forum?
Yeah, that's a new one, because some of the sites on the internet about this, people are relentlessly cheerful. Well, it's kind of not like that. We all have our down days, and we all get depressed, even ordinary people who aren't trying to cope with this new part of their lives. And of course your family will get depressed too. And so I added this site because I thought we need to find ways of dealing with our downs. This too will pass, as the wise men said to the king, who had everything in the world except his peace of mind.
And then there's a forum for spirit about meditation of various kinds, and also music and gardening as medicine, plus poetry. Anything which helps you raise your spirits and which keeps you feeling optimistic. And there's another new post, isn't there?
Yeah, it's on the very important research forum, which our resident researcher and others keep up to date. And this post is about the value of expectation. And it links to an article recently in the newspapers about how expectations can either prolong your life, often for many years, as well as shorten your days if you let it. So you might say that's the value of the placebo effect, which loops us back to the library section, where one of our members is currently reviewing a book about the value of placebos. Don't discount them.
So what's the most important thing, do you think, that people can take away from this video?
That's a good question. I think once you've recovered from rocking and reeling after diagnosis, and everybody does that, make it easy on yourself. Forgive yourself for your down days and go forward in the company of others who've already trodden their own path towards true healing. You can do it, and please pass the site on as well.
Great. And shall we end with a couple of comments that people have left on the site?
Sure. And I'm going to read these out here. The first is from a psychotherapist from Australia who said, "What a fabulous website and great ideas. It's very helpful to have that mountain of information made digestible in a personal way. It seems to take a surprisingly long time to recover one's basic security after these events." The site is now in some London teaching hospitals. And just recently we had this comment from the other side of the world in New Zealand from Dr. Roger Foggett, who's a counselling psychologist in the field of oncology and palliative care. He said, "This is a very valuable resource for all those who struggle to achieve the right balance between quality and quantity of life when facing treatment options with huge implications for themselves and their loved ones as a result of living with cancer."
And finally, just to add, we're on Facebook, so please like us.
Please do.
And Twitter with just under 300 followers now. And one of the followers was an Irish guy called JP Callio, who wrote us a song, which is on our website. It's called Take a Look Outside the Box. His voice has been described as a cross between Tom Waits and Johnny Cash. It's great. So,
do listen.
And also a radio series starting in the autumn, so watch this space.
And for now, bye and happy Cansurviving.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Hey, Will.